2024 question paper. This year, biology part was a bit on the easier side. Last year, a lot of conceptual level questions were asked. This year, more or less direct questions were asked. Okay, if you know, you can do it. Otherwise, it will be difficult to, work these out. So we will discuss all the questions from the biology part, both the botany as well as the zoology questions. Okay, so before getting into the question paper, I hope you all know there are two parts. The first part will be having only one option from the four will be correct, and the second part more than one option will be correct. So we had start with the question paper. Just a moment. Okay, so this was the first question. Okay, when you look at the number of questions asked from the biology part, okay, almost 16 questions. Okay, 16 questions were asked purely from the biology part. So let's see those 16 questions. Okay, of which only one of the option is correct. Okay, this is the part one. So your first question is this, that which of the national park derives its name from the abundance of red silk cotton trees. Okay, so if you know this, you can do. Otherwise, it will be difficult to do this question. But here also, as we have discussed in our classes, like how to do an MCQ based on your aptitude. Okay, so based on that, you can either attempt this question. Otherwise, you could have skipped this question. So here, the red silk cotton tree. If you look at all these four options, okay, you have Colorado National Park, then Simlipal National Park, Sundarban, and Kaziranga National Park. If you have a very, kind of brief knowledge on which are the major phase of these national park, you could have easily answered this question. Like, say, for example, like Kaziranga National Park, you find Kaziranga in Assam, and Kaziranga National Park is known for its one-horned rhino. Okay, one-horned rhino. So you can easily, cancel this D option. Then coming to Keolado National Park, it is in Rajasthan. This national park is known for the migratory birds. Okay, so seasonal migratory bird that come and visit this national park. So it's in Rajasthan. So that will not come under the answer. Now you have two options, B and C. And Sundarban National Park, it's in the West Bengal, and it derives its name from the Sundari mangrove. Okay, tree. So that name is from that plant itself, from the mangrove tree itself. So it is not Sundarban, but it is the Simlipal. So the name Simlipal is derived from this cotton, red silk cotton tree only. Okay. So here the answer should be option B. Okay. So if you knew this, you could have directly, bubbled option B. But if you do not know, still you can use your aptitude here to answer, and you know where to use it. Okay. So that was first question. The second question here is, this question was, it was directly asked from whatever we have discussed. Okay, it was a very direct question. It could hardly take 2 or 3 seconds to bubble this. So the question is, some algae leave as endophyte in seaweeds. Okay, which of the following algae is endophytic to aquatic fern Azolla? Okay, in the previous slide, actually this figure, this is the figure of red silk cotton tree. Okay, red silk cotton tree. Now, yeah, this question. So see, the first part of the question, some algae leave as endophyte in seaweed. So it is given that some algae, they leave as endophyte. Endophyte means what? A living being that is the inside of anything. Okay, endophyte and ectophyte. Ectophyte means outside and endophyte means inside. So inside are in seaweed. Seaweeds means those algae that are seen in marine habitat. So those collectively are called as seaweeds. So they are saying that some algae leave as endophyte in seaweed. So this was the first part of the question. Even if you ignore this part, no issue. Actually, the second part forms the main part of the question. Which of the following algae is endophyte to the aquatic form Azolla? See, this was just to mislead you people. Okay, even if you have ignored this part, no issue. Actually, the question starts from this part, like which of the following algae is endophyte to the aquatic form Azolla. So we have discussed about Azolla, and also we have discussed the endophytic algae inside Azolla, right? So Azolla is a water fawn. It comes under the group Pteridophyte, plant group Pteridophyte. So here, again, it is Azolla. So here, how you can come to the answer? It is saying an endophytic algae is living inside Azolla. Okay, so when you look at the option A and C, okay, A and C, they are clearly what? They are clearly Chondrus and Sarcodia, both are red algae. Okay, they are coming, they are rhodophyceae members. So they are both red algae. What is being asked here? It is asked about Azolla. Okay, it is an aquatic fauna. So who inhabit inside Azolla? So you have two other options, B and C. Okay, if you know this answer, you could directly come to the answer, but otherwise, how you can come to this answer? That's what I'm trying to explain. Okay, so B and C are the two options left to you people. Now, is it Anabena or nostoc? Okay, so the given figure is that of Azolla, and the inside the Azolla where the algae inhabit. So you can see a gap here. Okay, inside the Azolla, inside this cavity, you will find the growth of this endophytic algae. Okay, so mainly it is the Anabena algae, which is a blue-green algae or nitrogen-fixing algae that inhabit inside of Azolla. So we have considered the growth of endophytic algae as a separate case in every plant group, wherever, like in the case of Cycus, we have discussed about the coralloid root, the association of nostoc, the association of Anabena in Azolla, etc. And all other endophytic algae were also discussed in the lab. So this was a very direct question, and here the answer is option B. Okay, here the answer is B. Anabena is the blue-green algae or the endophytic algae that lives inside the aquatic form Azolla. Okay, that was the second question. Now coming to the third question. St. Anthony's fire disease is caused by consumption of infected grains of rye. Which of the following is responsible for this disease? Okay, so this was also a very direct question because infection of rye. Okay, infection of rye is actually caused by a group of fungus called ergot fungus, and which is a typical example of ergot fungus? It's the claviceps. So answer here is D, claviceps. Otherwise, how you can find out the answer? See, you have learned about Candida and Aspergillus, and you know that both cause infection in human, like the Candidosis and the Aspergillosis. So both of the fungus causes diseases in human beings. Here it is asked about infected grain of rye. So it is claviceps, and Rosella is actually a group of mushroom. Some of them are edibles, while others are not. Okay, so the answer for the third question is claviceps. You did not have to get worried with St. Anthony's fire disease and all that you can just ignore. Only the infection of rye. Okay, so this is the image, how the given image is that of infection of claviceps, how when the plant get infected or how the plant changes its morphology when claviceps infect. Okay, so this is the typical group of fungus that causes infection of grains of rye. Okay, generally grains. Okay, so that was the third question where the answer would become D. Okay, now the given below are two statements. One labeled as assertion. So this is a very basic question, like basic type of question, wherein assertion reason type of question is this. So here, given below are two statements, one labeled as assertion and the other labeled as reason. Okay, you have to choose the correct option from the code given below. So this type of question you have learned how to approach these kind of question. So two statement will be given. One will be assertion, the other will be reason. And if there is any connection between these two, this is what you have to understand. So here, this was one of, a high level of question, that was asked from the entire biology part. Okay, so here, the first statement, that is the assertion statement, states that each of the two strands of original DNA molecules serve as a template for the synthesis of new complementary strand. The result is two DNA molecules, each composed of one old, which is the parental strand, and the one new, which is the daughter strand. Okay, so here from what you like, by reading the assertion, you might have understood that this is completely focused on the topic replication. Okay, so what is replication? Replication is the very common in layman terms. It is the formation of next generation of DNA molecules. Okay, that is what replication is, to replicate. Okay, to generate next set of DNA. So here the assertion statement. What does the assertion statement say? So see, you have a DNA. Just a moment. Okay, so you have a DNA molecule like this. Okay, this is the DNA molecule. You know, in original DNA, there are two strands. Okay, these are the two strands, the first strand and the second strand. So what is being said here? Each of the two strands of the original DNA molecule serve as a template for the synthesis of new complementary strand. So there is first strand and the second strand. Okay, so it is said that each of the two strands, okay, each of the strand, this is the first strand and this is the second strand. Both of them will act as a template for the synthesis of new complementary strand. Okay, both will act as the template for new complementary strand. And the result is two DNA molecule. Okay, now these two strands will replicate. Okay, these two will replicate and this will act as the template. These two strands act as a template. And see, this green color is the new daughter DNA strand. Okay, so the result is two DNA molecule, each composed of one old. Okay, this is the old, the red one is the old, and the new one is the daughter. So this is the basic process of replication. So that is being said in the assertion. So you can understand that the assertion statement, whatever being said is right. Okay, so this is how replication happens, which is a very basic thing that you should be knowing. So this statement, assertion statement is right. Okay, the assertion statement is right. Now, the second thing is that during replication, okay, during replication, original DNA molecule is broken into fragments. So they say that, sorry, in the, they say in the reason that the original DNA molecule is broken. This is the original DNA molecule. It is broken. Okay, it is broken. So let me rub this. Let's do the reasoning part. Okay, so the original DNA molecule is broken into fragments. So this is the original DNA molecule. It is broken into fragments. Okay, it is broken into fragments. Now what happened? And each fragment is replicated. It is said that each fragment replicate and newly synthesized, each fragment is replicated and the newly synthesized DNA fragment and the original fragment are then interspersed, resulting in both strands of DNA molecule DNA containing a mix of old and new daughter DNA segment like this. Okay, so interspersed like this. So this is how replication happens. So this is what they are saying in the reason. Okay, do you think this is right? Okay, in replication, always there will be DNA parental strand that act as template. It will act as a template for the formation of its complementary strand, which we call it as the daughter strand. Now, these two combine to form the double helical structure. There is no idea of being broken and each fragment being replicated and getting, combined to form the DNA double helical structure. There is no concept like that. It's like almost all of the higher level of organisms follow the semi-conservative replication method. And here, this type of replication, we call it as the dispersive replication. Okay, dispersive replication, which is not found in, biological system. So here, the reason being given is wrong. Okay, assertion is right, but the reason is wrong. So the option A is both A and R are true. Is it? No, assertion is true, but the reason is wrong. So we can cancel A. Coming to B, both A and R are true, but R is not the correct. See, A and R both are not true. Only A is true. Okay, so we directly come to option C, where A is true and R is false. Okay, A is true, the R is false. I hope this you understood. This is the basic question that was based on replication. Okay, so I'll just show you how this happens. See, replication of DNA can happen, like it was hypothesized, it can happen in three different ways. One is conservative method, second is semi-conservative, and the third one is dispersive. And now our understanding is that DNA replicate through semi-conservative method. So conservative, semi-conservative, and dispersive. This is what I explained to you, the semi-conservative and dispersive. So in the option, the assertion, this image was explained in the assertion part, whereas this was explained in the reason part. Okay, so we in biological system, we do have this semi-conservative mode of replication, not the dispersive. Okay, so your reason is wrong. So option C is the answer to your fourth question. Okay, now coming to the fifth and sixth question. See, this fifth and sixth question are a very direct question. If you know, you can do this. Otherwise, you should have skip this question. Otherwise, you know, there is negative marking in your questions in this exam. So the fifth question is, who among the following is the launching leader of Human Genome Project? The Human Genome Project is discussed in Standard 12, NCERT, Biology. But the leader of Human Genome Project was not directly mentioned in the textbook. So if you had, you know, extra reading, you could have cracked this question. Otherwise, it is very difficult because here also you cannot eliminate any option because all other names are not that familiar. Like for a general biology student, it will be difficult because all these other names, apart from the answer, are also involved in kind of genome projects. Not particularly Human Genome Project, but they are associated like to this field only. Okay, so it would be difficult to make an assumption from that and to do the elimination tricks and all. So here, the right answer is B, Francis Collins. Okay, if you know, you could have answered this. Otherwise, you know, it would have been difficult. Okay, Francis Collins. Now, the sixth question is, which of the following is often referred to as the old man of the jungle? Okay, old man of the jungle. You have orangutan, gibbon, gorilla, and chimpanzee. So, what do you think the answer is? Hmm? So, the answer here is orangutan. Okay, so in Malay language, okay, Malay language, orangutan, the meaning of orangutan is the old man. Okay, old man, old hunter of the jungle. So that's a meaning. So it is a it was a very direct question. Old man of the jungle. Here also, like if you had to attempt, you could have used an MCQ aptitude. Otherwise, you could have simply skipped this question. Okay. Yeah. Coming to the seventh question. See, this was also a good. You know, I would categorize this as a very good type of question other than a direct question. You could have given some level of your conceptual level understanding in order to do this question. Okay, so here the question is, this is a potometer. Okay, so potometer. So you know, potometer is a device to, you know, measure the rate of transpiration. And you know what is transpiration? The rate of loss of water. Okay, so in very basic level of understanding, what is transpiration? Okay, so in the following experimental setup, a tube of a succulent plant was inserted in the glass tube. Okay, that is being shown here. This is the tube of the succulent plant. It is mentioned here also. And the apparatus was kept in sunlight for 6 hours. They inserted bubble bead. See, this setup is that of transpiration. So to measure transpiration, so you know, the plant that being kept here, it will release some amount of water, right? It will release or it will lose some amount of water. So that when water is being lost, that lost water is compensated by taking water from this tube, right? So they have inserted an air bubble. So the movement of air bubble through the tube actually indicates the process of transpiration. So how fast the air bubble move, because there is a scale to read this, how slow it moves. So based on that, you can actually calculate the transpiration level. Okay, so here, see, they have mentioned very clearly that this is a setup of succulent plant. Okay, you know, succulent plant means those plants that really um, conserve water. Okay, they live in a very dry, very waterless condition. Okay, very dry xerophytic condition. So for them, saving water is a very survival necessity. Okay, so those plants will have a very less rate of transpiration, right? This is a very basic understanding that you should have on succulent plant. So let's look at the options here. The first option is the air bubble. Okay, the air bubble will move very fast to show high rate of transpiration, and air bubble moves slowly to show lower rate of transpiration. C is not move at all, and D move according to temperature of water. See, transpiration in a experimental setup has nothing to do with the temperature of water. Okay, so that understanding helps you to eliminate the option D. Okay, now coming to option C, they will not move at all. So you will be thinking this thing that it is a succulent plant and it is kept under sunlight for 6 hours, and there's a possibility that there won't be any kind of transpiration and air bubble will not move. See, it is not to be said in 100% confirmation that there will not be any movement at all. What if it moves a millimeter? Okay, what if it moves, the air bubble moves 1 millimeter? You cannot say that it will not move at all. Okay, so that possibility can also be cancelled out. Okay, we cannot be 100% sure that the water air bubble will not move at all. Okay, what if it moves a very half millimeter? Okay, very minute distance. What if it moves? So we can cancel that not move at all option. Now you are left with two options, A and B. Okay, so here you can see that both of the statement are very similarly placed. One says that move very fast, the other say that move slow. Okay, so so from this two option, okay, from this two option, even if you do not know anything about photometer or anything, but these two option, if you know how to handle an MCQ, you know that these two are very similarly placed options. So you can come to a 50-50 chance that either any one of this is correct. Okay. It is given that it is a succulent plant. So do you think that the succulent plant will show high rate of respiration or a very slow rate of respiration? What do you think? Okay, so from this, it is very evident that the succulent plant will show only a very slow rate of transpiration. Okay, it's transpiration. Okay, so the option B will be the answer for this question. The seventh question, option B is the answer. Okay, now coming to the next question, the eighth question. So, uh, this eighth question, okay, this eighth question is actually was a very, direct question. Direct question in the sense that if you know the options, I mean, if you know the dates, you could do this. Otherwise, I will not ask you to attempt this question even with the MCQ aptitude because chances to make this wrong, okay, is high. Okay, so if you are 100% sure only, you should be attempting this. Otherwise, you could simply skip this question also. The eighth question is to make correct matches of the items with that of the, you have to match this. This is a match the following question. So here the answer is option C. Okay, I have nothing to explain here. That's why I direct on to the option C. But using the MCQ technique also, it's quite difficult to come to this question. I mean this option. So here, the International Day of Forest is 21st March. Okay, it's 21st March. And the International Day of Biological Diversity is 22nd May. Okay, then World Nature Conservation Day is 28th July. And the International Tiger Day is 29th July. Okay, so this is the option. This is the answer for your eighth question. Now coming to the ninth question. So this question, ninth one, is a bit tricky. Okay, because this question is based completely on vitamins. Okay, so singly or in combination with other nucleotides, which of the following produce coenzymes for oxidation reduction reaction? So the question is that in redox reaction, okay, redox reaction, which of the following vitamins act as coenzyme? So this was the question. Okay, so here answer C, vitamin B2 and vitamin B1. These are the major vitamins that act as coenzymes in oxidation reduction reaction. But they are not given as a combination in your option. So here the answer is actually option B, vitamin B1 and B3. Okay, so here vitamin B2 is known as riboflavin. Okay, riboflavin and riboflavin. Then you have B2, sorry, uh, B1 is thymine, and B3 is niacin. Okay, so these vitamins, okay, so B2 and B1 are is the major coenzyme in redox reaction. Since that combination is not given, it is B1 and B3 is the most appropriate answer for this question. Okay, so sometimes you will find B1, B2, and B5 also, but the more appropriate answer for this question is B1 and B3, the option B. Now, the 10th question. See, 10th question was very easy question. It is from the animal kingdom, directly from the animal kingdom classification. Okay, so here, if you know any one of this, if you know any one of this option, okay, if you know any one of this option, like the match the following, you could have directly come to the answer. Okay, could have directly come to the answer. So if you see, there is in the left side of the table and the right side of the table. In the left side, certain characteristics are given, and the right side, groups are mentioned. Okay, this pattern of question can be seen in 2023 question paper also. Okay, so the same pattern they have followed. So here, nematoda, the groups are given as nematoda. You have platyhelminthes, Cnidaria, mollusk, and the annelida. Okay, and here in the left side, you have the characteristic which are particular to the respective groups. So here you have four options also. So here what I will do, okay, I would directly go to the character which is known to me, or which I have learned, or which I can recall at the moment. Okay, so you see, I will go with this X, that is the presence of parapodia. The presence of parapodia is particularly seen in Annelida. Okay, the presence of parapodia. These are the external extension, okay, that is seen in annelid groups, okay, lateral appendages, okay, parapodia. So lateral appendages for movement, okay. So this is found in annelida. So I will directly go to annelida. So X as 5. So X as 5, there is only one option, right? In A, you have X as 5. Okay. In C, it is X as 4. It's not 1. And here it is 2. No. B. And in D, it is 3. So not. So I will go to option A. Okay. Wait. Let me confirm it again. Okay. We have other 4 more options as a characteristic. So let's see. So now here, the presence of radula. Radula is a typical character that you can find in the group mollusca. Okay, in the group mollusca. So it will go to 4. So Z will be 4. Again, option A is the right. Okay, right answer. So let's see. The presence of gelatinous mesoglea, it is found in your cnidarians. Okay, it is found in cnidarians. Then the presence of syncytial epidermis, it's found in it is found in nematoda. Okay, it is found in nematoda. Then presence of parapodia in annelida. Then presence of parenchymatous tissue in platyhelminthes. Then presence of radula, it is in mollusk. Okay, this was very easy question. Even you knew any one of this, you could have answered this particular question. Okay, this was an easy question. From animal kingdom, whatever question been asked, from zoology part, it was quite easy compared to that of the the botany part. Coming to the next question. Okay, this is also from animal kingdom, the 11th question. In animal kingdom, some of characters, whether internal or the external, with similar name and function are found in distinctly related animals. So this is a fascinating example of convergent evolution. So you have to choose the correct option exhibiting such similarity by possessing an organ called crop. So See, you know, crop as an organ that is the part of alimentary canal. Okay, that's a part of alimentary canal where temporary storage of digestive food takes place. Okay, so crop is a part of alimentary canal. So where do you find or in which group of organism you find this crop? So you have four different options. The first one is Tania, prawns, and toad. The second option is earthworm, Nereis, and Balanoglossus. C option is leech, cockroach, and bird. And D is Ascaris, crab, and fish. Okay, Ascaris, crab, and fish. So, looking at the option, if you know, like, where do you find this part of crop, the part of alimentary canal, you can directly go to the option. So here, the answer for this particular question is C. Okay, the answer for this particular question is C, leech, cockroach, and bird. Okay, otherwise also, when you look at this particular options, okay, if you look at this particular option, there are four options. You can come to this option C. Okay, here your MCQ aptitude will help you and you know how to do that. So I have explained to you in the class like how to approach this type of questions. Okay, even if you do not know answer to this question directly, you can use your aptitude and come to this answer. Okay, now the 12th question, identify the animals X and Y. Okay, identify the animals. So from the image, it is very clear that both are fish only. Okay, so you have to choose the correct option showing their diagnostic feature or characteristic of scale. So you have to identify which is X, sorry, what animal is X and what animal is Y. So both are fish, but what kind of fish? So if you see this X, it is clearly shark. Okay, so this is what type of fish is shark? Basically, fish are divided into two different classes. Okay, those fish that have you know, their uh, endoskeleton made of bones, and those fish whose endoskeleton is made of cartilage. Okay, so you have two types, the bony fish and the cartilage fish, the osteochitus and the chondrichitis. So here, you know, shark, they belong to the group of cartilaginous fishes or their endoskeleton is made of cartilage, and that comes under chondrichitis. And you have Y, it's a bony fish, so they come under the group osteochitis. Okay, so here you have to identify the characteristic of scale. So you know that there are two type of scale, placoid scale, okay, and ctenoid scale. This was a very direct question, okay, very direct question. Placoid scale and ctenoid scale. So placoid scale is seen in which fish? Placoid scale is seen in cartilaginous fish or chondrichitis, and ctenoid scale is found in bony fish or the osteochitis. So if you look at the options, if you look at the option, so it says that X is ctenoid scale and Y is cycloid scale, and option B, X is placoid scale and Y is ctenoid scale. Okay, the other two, you can eliminate this C as well as D also you can eliminate. Okay, nothing about uh, ctenoid is given or cycloid is, sorry, placoid is given. Okay, here also we have not discussed anything about cycloid scale or the a combination of cycloid of ctenoid. Okay, so here you can directly come to the answer B, placoid scale and ctenoid scale. Okay, placoid scale and ctenoid scale. So this was also a direct question. If you knew, you could have answered this. Other than that, about the MCQ aptitude being used here, no, not being sure. Except, yeah, you can either use it, but I will not suggest you to use in this question because this was a very direct question. Okay, you can come to the answer based on your knowledge only. Okay, so the 12th question. Now, the 13th question. See, this was also a very easy question. Which of the following is not only the most abundant biopolymer on Earth, but a nitrogenous polysaccharide too? So, which is the most abundant biopolymer? Is it inulin, hyaluronic acid, chitin, or trehalose? See, Here also you can come to the answer, in different manner you can come to the answer. But here the answer here is C. It is chitin. Okay, the chitin. Chitin is the most abundant biopolymer on Earth among the following. Okay, among the four of the given option. And here trehalose, hyaluronic acid, and inulin. These all are polysaccharides. Okay, polysaccharides, and they do not contain nitrogen in them. This chitin is the only polysaccharide which has a nitrogen in it. Okay, so chitin is the answer. Otherwise, also when we were discussing about the animal kingdom, okay, the plant group, the classification, we were discussing continuously, or we had discussed continuously about this particular biopolymer chitin n number of times. Okay, that should have brought this idea to you that it will be an abundant biopolymer like among the following. Okay, so that's the reason why we have been discussing about chitin everywhere. Okay, whenever we discussed about the plant kingdom as well as animal kingdom, this word chitin had we had come across this particular term, right? Okay, now this one, the 14th question, the mathematical relationship called Fibonacci series is commonly observed in the arrangement of C. This term, Fibonacci series means what? See, if a term, okay, it's a series of, numbers, say for example, 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, okay, a continuous series. Consider this series. Okay, I just explained to you what is Fibonacci series. So here, this one, okay, this one is a sum of its preceding terms. Okay, that one is a sum of its preceding term. That is 0 plus 1 gives you 1. Now again, this 2 is the sum of its preceding term. 1 plus 1 gives you 2. Now 3 is the sum of its preceding term. 1 plus 2, 3. Okay. Now this 5 is the sum of its preceding term. 2 plus 3, 5. Okay. So you could see a pattern, okay, an arrangement, a pattern of, a continuous, a series, a pattern forms a series, right? So that type of a pattern, if it is observed in nature, especially in the plant kingdom, where do you find it? Okay, that is what we asked in this particular question. So see, here, okay, see, the mathematical relationship called the Fibonacci series is commonly observed in the arrangement of option A, stipules on twig, okay, then B, leaves, C, stamens, D, flowers in a inflorescence. So see, so Fibonacci series means a continuous pattern of arrangement, or a series of arrangement, a spiral arrangement or a circular arrangement. Where do you observe this? See, this can be observed in flowers as well as leaves, but it is more commonly observed in leaf. We call it as phyllotaxy. Okay, so Fibonacci series is commonly observed in the arrangement of leaves. Okay, so a series, a continuous series, you will not find it in the stipules or among the stamens, but you will find it in leaf. Some flowers will show this kind of Fibonacci series, like the arrangement. But here, the most commonly observed being asked in the question. So that brings you to the answer, option B, leaves. Okay. Next is the question 15. Okay. Question 15, option 1 is alburnum. Okay. Alburnum. Okay. Alburnum. It's R. Okay. Alburnum. Okay, alburnum. Okay, let's read the question first. The xanthine, red Brazilian, and hematoxylin dyes are naturally found in option A, alburnum, rhythodon, duramen, and phallodon. Okay, so these are the 4 options. You have to find out the answer. Now see, xanthine and red Brazilian and hematoxylin. See, xanthine is the product from the sandalwood plant. Okay, so these three are actually, this is a dye and this is also a dye. Okay, this is also a dye, and these are actually what? These are actually secondary metabolites. Where do you actually find secondary metabolites? Secondary metabolites actually found in the heartwood. Okay, it is found in the hardwood. See, if it would have given to you hardwood, sapwood, etc., it would have been very easy question. But here, the other terms, okay, been given to you. So if you know these terms in detail, you could have, come to the answer. So here, the answer to this question is D. Sorry, C. Okay, not D. Duramen. Option C. It is. Okay. So here, what is alburnum? Alburnum. Alburnum is actually the sapwood. Okay, this is the sapwood. Retidome. Retidome is actually the outer layer of bark. Outer layer of bark. Okay. Now, duramen is actually hardwood, the innermost layer, okay, of the wood. Now, phelloderm, okay, phelloderm is actually the inner layer of bark. Okay, so these were the four options, and the answer for this question is duramen. If you know, you would have done it. This was from purely from plant anatomy. Okay. Now, 16th question. This is the very last question from the part 1, wherein only one option is right. So this question, okay, this question on soil horizon, different horizon, I would say this was a tough question. Okay. If you know, you can do it. Otherwise, also you could have done this question. Okay. So let's see based on knowledge how you can do this question. So here the 15th question says that although profiles of different soil differ markedly with respect to their physical, chemical, and biological properties, the following diagram shows a typical hypothetical soil profile with its 5 principal horizons from O to R. Okay, so this shows the soil profile. Okay, this image shows a soil profile. You can see this from horizon O to R. So this is actually the soil horizon. Okay, the image of soil horizon. You can look at it. You can see the presence of O layer, which is the organic layer, or you will find humus in that part. Okay, obviously the plant is seen in that region of the soil on the topmost layer. So when the plant decay, and also the organism, when they decay, the decaying material will form the decomposed matter will form humus. So that will be seen in the top layer, right? So in the organic region, the ozone, okay, the O horizon. Then after that comes the A horizon, which is the top soil, okay, and then comes the B horizon, which is a subsoil. So between A and B, you have the zone of elevation, that is E, okay, E horizon. It is the region where the minerals and organic, the least minerals and organic matter occupy. Then after B, it is C, the parent rock, okay, which is a partly weathered rock, partly, weathered, and R is a bedrock, okay, it is an unweathered parent rock. So this is how, in general, soil horizon is like. So when you compare this soil horizon with that of the given in the question paper, you can see the presence of O layer, O horizon, the A horizon, B, C, and R. Okay. The other about the E is not being given here. Okay, instead of E, it is given A2. Okay, you can see A2 here. And also, the O horizon we divided into O1 and O2. O1 and O2. Okay, so let's see the. Okay, we have to study the given diagram and the characteristic view to U related to various horizon and name of the horizons are tabulated below. Okay, you have given in the left side of the table, there is a column of characteristic, and the right side of the table, there is a column of horizon. So you have to match this. Okay, so in this very same question paper, we saw 3 different match the following, right? This was one among the 3. Other 2, we saw it in the previous slides. So this will be your last tabular column. So here Q is solemn, R is podzolic zone, then S is fairly decomposed matter duff, okay, T is melanized region and U is zone of elevation. Okay, zone of elevation. Okay, zone of elevation. That is okay. Now you are given with 4 different options. So see how you can find the answer. You can find it like based on the like you can go to the third row. If you look at the third column, okay, the right side here, sorry, the left side column, the third one is fairly decomposed matter called duff. So where do you think that the decomposed matter will be present? Will it be present, so let's look at S. Okay, I'm trying to find the answer, based on your minimal level of understanding or minimal level of knowledge and your presence of mind. Okay, so let's see how you can find the answer to this particular question. So I know I'm taking S, okay, which is fairly decomposed matter duff. So where I can actually find the decomposed matter from all this horizon. So let's see the S. Okay, in the first option, S is given as 4. Okay, S is given as 4. What is 4? 4 is A2. Okay, this is the A2 region. S is given as 4. In the second option, S is given as 4. Okay, what is 4? 4 is A, the center region. Okay, the center region. Now, in the option C, S is given as I. What is, I mean 1, that is O2. O2 is this region, right? O2 is this region, right? O2 is this region. Now, in the D, S is given as 3. Where is 3? 3 is A plus B. A plus B. So, looking at all this, okay, just use your common sense and just try to find out where you will find decomposed matter. You know, the living things are seen on the surface of the soil. Okay, when they decompose, they will be forming on the very surface. They will be becoming part of very surface of the soil. They have to pass through all the soil like layers so as to reach the very bottom if they have to. Okay, just saying for your understanding. So they will be always seen on the surface. So what option do you think is the most appropriate for this F, the zone of fairly decomposed matter? You can directly come to the O horizon, right? Even if you do not know anything about soil profile, you could have directly come to the O horizon, right? See, we will be studying all the horizons in detail, and you might have studied if you if you know, if you could recall everything on that right moment, it would have been an easy question. Like, fairly you could go through this match the following. Otherwise, how you could have approached this question? This is the way. Okay. So see, yes, says that it's a fairly decomposed matter. Where do you find this fairly decomposed matter? Where you can find it? Okay. Where you can find it? You can find it in the very top layer, right? So it will be in the O2 zone. Right, in the O2 zone. So that brings you to the option C. Okay, S1. Other all option you can, strike off. Why? Because this decomposed matter you will find on the top layer only. Okay, decomposed matter. So that will bring S to 1. Okay, this, if you could do this, if you could crack that thing, you would have marked the option C. Okay, you were not able to you know come to that particular idea of the decomposed matter. I will also tell another method to do this, like taking T. Okay, taking T, melanized region. So melanization, what do you understand by that? Melanization means what? Dark means due to the presence of melanin, it will give a blackish, black color, a very dark color shade, right? So looking at this image itself, you can see they have given you various shades of colors. Okay, if you look at the A horizon, it's dark. In the A2 horizon, it's little light, but B horizon, it is between the dark and light shade, right? So you can see that color variation. If you know what is melanization or melanization or melanin, anything, okay, that word association can also help you to crack this question. If you look at T, it is melanized region. So from the image, which region is melanized? Which region is melanized? If you look at this image, which region is more dark? It is A1, right? So which brings you to this option that T will lead to A1, which is 2. So T2, there is only one option. Again, that is C. Okay, again, that is C. Otherwise, based on your knowledge, how you can do this? Solemn, okay, solemn is mainly found in the horizon A and B. Okay, so it brings to option. Just a moment. That brings you to the from the table. It will be 3 like this. Okay, then it is Pozzolic zone. Pozzolic zone, where you will find Pozzolic zone, you will find in the A2 region. Okay, in the A2 region. That is a zone of elevation, A2 region here. Okay. Then fairly decomposed matter, you will find it which layer? It will be in the O2 region. 1. Okay. Then melanized region, it is A1. Then zone of elevation, you will find it in the A region. Okay. A horizon in, general. A horizon in general. So this was the last question from the part A. So if you had never studied about soil profile also, you could have answered this. Okay. So the main thing that needs in your exam is your presence of mind and also the ability to connect things. Okay. Connect the words. You would have come through, like you would have gone through all these words once. Okay, somewhere you would have come through, you had experienced all these words. So word association can also help you to actually find out the answers. Okay, so the options will be set in such a way that wherein one is the right answer, right? So option will be set in such a way that it will should lead to that particular option. Okay, so here, based on that two factors like the fairly decomposed matter and melanized region, you could have come to the answer very easily, even if you have not learned about soil profile. Otherwise, if you would have learned about O, A, B, Z, and R, it would be, within a fraction of seconds, you could have cracked this question. Okay, so I would not say this was a tough question, but not an easy question. Okay, so this would come under a moderate level. Yeah. So this was the your very first part of the question paper. Now let's see the multiple choice. Okay, this is the second part of your question paper. Second part of your question paper. Okay. Yeah. Here, actually, in biology, you have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there are 4 questions actually from the part 2. Okay, there are 4 questions in part 2. So here also, you know how to attempt this, right? There can be more than one option be right. There can be one option, 2, 3, or all the 4. Here, there is no negative mark. But if you do not mark all the correct answer, you won't be awarded any marks. Okay. If there are 3 options, right, and if you are only marking 2 options, you won't be given any mark. If you're marking only all the 3, then only you will be given mark because there is no negative mark in this portion. Now, the 49th question is the fine structure of a striated muscle fiber has been elucidated with the help of an electron microscope. Okay. Study the following statement and choose the incorrect one. See, they have given it in bold format that you have to find the incorrect statement. So before finding the incorrect statement, just for you to recall the muscle fiber, I have just added a picture. So you can see this is the picture of a muscle fiber. You can see light I band. Okay. And in between two light I band, you can see dark A band. Okay. Dark A band. And this is one band being, zoomed in. So if you look at, you can see the I band, A band, I band. Okay. So in the A band region, you can see the H zone. Okay. In the I band region, a zigzag arrangement of Z zone, Z disk can be seen. Okay, Z disk can be seen. So this question was purely based on this image only. Okay, so if you had gone through this image, it would have been an easy question to crack. So here you can see the thin filament, the actin filament, and the thick filament, the myosin filament. Okay, thick myosin and thin actin. Okay, so I think that helped you to recall all the terms associated with the muscle fibers. Now coming to this question, you have to find the incorrect ones. Okay, and it's already means that more than one will be one can be an answer, can be. Okay, the first option A, the dark and light band of myofibrils have been respectively named as A, anisotropic under polarized light, and I, isotropic under polarized band. Okay, this is what being said here. There is I band and A band. Okay, I band and A band. So that first option A is actually right. This one is right. We are asked the incorrect statement. Second one is A band contain about 120 angstrom thick and 18 angstrom long actin fibers. Okay, see here it is said A band contain thick actin filament. Okay, thick actin filament. What did we say here? Actin filament is thick. Okay, actin filament is thick. So let's come to this one. So this one is wrong. Okay, this statement is wrong because A band, which is actin filament, that is thin filaments. Okay, thick means it should be myosin. Okay, it should be myosin. The C option, each I band is divided into two equal halves by a thin fibrous and transverse zigzag partition called Z band. Okay, so if you look at this, see the I band, there is a Z disc which is in zigzag in pattern. Okay, you can see that in the image, zigzag in pattern. Okay, so here that brings you to this option C being right. Okay, now the major middle lighter region of A band is called as M zone. Is it? Is it called as M zone? See, it is called as what? It is called as the H zone. H zone. Okay, so that brings you to the answer. Answer in the sense the incorrect statement as B and D. So here the answer is B, comma D. This is the answer for this particular question 49. Next question is 50. The autonomic nervous system is divided into two parts, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. Some effects of this system are given below respectively. You have to choose the correct option. Okay. So the 50th question, again you have to choose the correct option. The first option is pupil constrict. Okay, so before getting into this, let me tell you what is sympathetic and what is parasympathetic. Okay, sympathetic system actually prepares your body for a fight or flight. Either you fight or you will run away. Okay, so fight or flight by increasing your heart rate as well as it will alert you during stress. Whereas parasympathetic, it will actually promote rest and digest, that will slow down your heart rate and also aids in digestion. Okay, and the body will be in calm condition. So here the pupil, that is your eye pupil will constrict and the glycogen is converted to glucose. Second one is salivation. The saliva, its production decreases and your bladder constrict. Okay. See, its adrenaline is being released. Okay, it is a fight or flight hormone. We say adrenaline, and there glucose converted into glycogen, and in the D option, bronchi constrict, gastric activity stimulated. So this you have to categorize into sympathetic and parasympathetic. So here, salivation decrease and bladder constrict is an example for the sympathetic uh, nervous system function. Okay, then adrenaline being released and glucose converted to glycogen. So also another function of sympathetic and parasympathetic respectively. Okay, so here also you could again could have used your MCQ aptitude, but again that would have not helped you so much, but it like a 50-50 doubt clarification can actually be done through the MCQ aptitude, and you know how to use it. Now, the question 51. Okay, you have to study the following statements regarding hemophilia and you have to choose the incorrect option. See, you have to choose the incorrect option, not the correct one. Okay, you have to choose the incorrect option. Here also incorrect is not given in bold. So, this was a very basic and easy question. So, the chances to make this wrong based on this incorrect and correct option was very high for this particular question, question 51. Okay, so first option is it follows a crisscross pattern of inheritance. So you know, crisscross pattern is like this. Okay, from one generation to the next. Uh, then next. Okay, this type of a pattern is crisscross pattern of inheritance, not direct transfer, but a crisscross transfer. Okay, so crisscross pattern of inheritance. Second one is Y-linked dominant trait. Okay, Y-linked, it is associated with the Y chromosome and also it's a dominant trait. Then C, it is common in women but rare in men. Rare in men, and it is also called royal disease. See, the very first thing that we learn about hemophilia is that it is also called as royal disease. So this is the right statement. Okay, this is a right statement. Now, it follows a crisscross pattern. Obviously, hemophilia follows a crisscross pattern. Here, the option B and C are wrong. Okay, because hemophilia is a X-linked. It's an X-linked recessive disease, okay, or a recessive trait, and it is very common in men, okay, very common in men, and here the females are actually only carriers, okay. It is rare in female, but females act as the carrier. That's why it follows a crisscross pattern. So in 51, about the hemophilia question, you have two options being right, that is B and C. I mean, options being right to the question, okay. But the about hemophilia, what is being right, that is A and D. Okay, answer to this question is B and C because you have to choose the incorrect option. Now the very last question, that is a 52nd question. Which of the following trees does or do not show Cheropterophyly? Okay, Cheropterophyly, or this is actually pollination. Okay, pollination via or pollination with the help of bats. Okay, so you know different type of pollination, how pollination, which are the different carriers or mediums of pollination. So here, Chiropterophyly, specifically asked about Chiropterophyly is the pollination by bat. Okay, so this question was also kind of a tricky question. Okay, because here the first option is sausage tree, second one is Kadamba tree, then C, coral tree, and D, silk cotton. Silk cotton was once asked, again it been repeated. Okay, silk cotton. So here sausage tree is pollinated by bat. Kadam tree is also pollinated by bat. Silk cotton is also pollinated by bat. Here, coral tree is the only tree that is pollinated through ornithophyly, that is through birds. Okay, through birds. So here option C should be the only answer. But here also the silk tree, the silk cotton. Silk cotton is also like pollinated via the help of birds, but bats also help in that. So here at the primary level, you could say option C is the only answer. But don't know like how the the answer key comes, but for based on the current understanding, it is only the coral tree that show Chiropterophyly. Okay, so this was the entire NSEJS 2025 biology part. Okay, so basically this question paper was easier compared to 2024, and the range of questions were from very easy, moderate, and very high, like a very tough level of questions were asked. But apart from 2 or 3 questions. All other questions were attemptable, and also and some questions were even directly asked. Okay, so I hope this session brought some insight to you to how to approach the question paper of NSEJS, how to study for NSEJS, and it would really help the future aspirants to prepare accordingly. Okay, so all the very best to you people, and happy learning and all the best. Thank you.